A year ago, I made one of the hardest decisions I have ever faced: to pack my entire life up and move across the country. I loaded up, said goodbye to my friends, took my cameras down, and took off. We drove for 4 days in the summer heat, dodging tornadoes, and eventually made it to my new home of Ohio. Junk got to see a Buc-ee's, which was pretty cool, and we almost killed the truck, but we made it. That was 5 months ago. And aside from a welder repair video, we haven't done anything. Until now. Buddy. All right, let's go. Alright, so yeah, here we are. This is the new temporary home of Garage Rats, I guess. This is where I'm staying. We're gonna try and make our digs a little bit more nice here. We're gonna do a couple tweaks real quick and see what we can do. So the joke is right now that we had to put the Honda with the other lawnmowers. So there's a John Deere over there. It's a 0 turn. So, and of course the tractors. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and put some light bulbs in these outlets up here and see how many we get swapped out. Fix our lighting situation. Boom, look at that. We got ourselves a little shop light. We got some new bulbs all the way around now. Put one over there just because it didn't have one. Just try to fill this out a little bit more. Definitely need to get acclimated with spider webs, that's for sure. First, whatever you want to call it, first order of business. We have to get tools in here because I'm working on doing some steering wheel setup for the hatch to get rid of this OEM steering wheel here. So working on getting rid of this because it's the last piece of the interior that needs to be modified. And I can't get to the Torx. We'll have to make a run of the storage. Go get the toolbox. I'm gonna pause this video and we'll pick up tomorrow. For now, say goodnight, Jump. Today we're going to start the process and we'll probably make a whole video on this all together. So this could take me a few days, maybe even a week. So in a previous video, we made a downpipe out of 3-inch stainless for junk. And one of the things I don't think anybody saw is I tried adding a wastegate recirc. And as you can see the amount of welds in there, I got a little carried away because I couldn't get the torch in there. It's like a game of Operation in the middle there. So instead of playing Operation, I put way too much heat in it, and it don't fit really. I use this to get the car here from my storage, and that's about all she wrote. So I've got this flare right here, so it goes from 2.5 immediately to a 3. This whole piece is 3-inch all the way up, and then all the way up to the tailpipe. Everything is 3-inch. And while that's cool and dandy and everything, we're going to remake our downpipe, but if we're going to do the recirc, we need to have a little bit more real estate, because honestly, we don't have a lot of room where it sits behind the car. So let me show you that a little more. So if you saw the video where we made the downpipe, you may know that we had some restrictions and tight spaces. And this is a really good representation of it right here, because this right here is the back of the turbo, and that pipe right down there is where it connected to for the recirc. So one of the things you can see right now is there's that trans mount that it had to jump over, and then it also had to go under the manifold. So once you get in here, kind of like this, you can kind of see that we have to shoot this gap in a very specific kind of way, as well as worrying about this guy right here to re-add in as well. With all that considered, trying to do that with a 3-inch entirely, plus the 1 3/4 for the wastegate is kind of a challenge. So I've opted to order a whole set of 2.5-inch from the turbo back to at least where I can get the wastegate to recirc. So once you have the wastegate and the turbo meet, that's where we'll jump back up to 3-inch and carry the 3-inch out. Let's get the car jacked up, go ahead and get started. So the GoPro fell, and I want to listen to music while I'm working, so I didn't get a video of that. Besides, it's boring. It's a lot of this, playing with angles. As you can see, I did one major cut and some finer cuts. And that's just to fine tune how far in and how angled you want your part. And then once you get it, you mark it, and then you kind of got to play with some other fitment. We got to crush this a little bit just to give us a little bit more roundness instead of the eccentricity. So I'm going to find my vise right here, and we're going to crank it down a little bit to try and give it some whatever. Or if I have my hammer here, I'll smash it.
Smash, smash, smash!
So just to try and get a little bit more oval, or less oval. It's not terrible, but it does make it easier with welding and tacking and all that. So, which we need to do. We need to tack this right now. It is time to tack. Now we need to hit it. All right, work. All right, so yesterday it was kind of annoying me with trying to get all of this part done. So I stopped filming and just got busy listening to music. But you can see here we have a downpipe. And if you're following this, trying to figure out how to make your own, I'll tell you how to do it. And that is piece by piece. You just have to feel it out. But it's all tacked together. It's all one piece. It's ready to be welded. And it fits, and that's good. So, first thing we gotta do is put this back in the car, get under the car, and see what we gotta do to continue this to our current exhaust. It's probably been 2 months since the car came in, and through my nighttime trial and error, running out of gas, having to get new gas, and all kinds of stuff. we got a downpipe now made for jump. We tried to recirculate the wastegate. Wasn't having it. Just to try and account for the obvious things that you deal with when you are dealing with a dump pipe versus a downpipe, or a the recirculated part of the wastegate. The wastegate gets more flex because temperatures vary greatly from the downpipe, just due to size and pressure. It didn't work, so instead we just said screw it. We just need to get the damn car going because it is almost winter, and I at least want to drive it once, be able to see what the tuning is like, so that way I can understand more about what I need to do next. But it's done, so let me show you that. So starting up top, we've got the turbo side, and this is 2.5 inch 16 gauge stainless. I think this is actually a 14 gauge elbow, because I think the elbows were 14, but I cut it pretty similar to what I did last time. So stainless vibrant flange, Stainless Brothers pipe, it curves through. There's some 16 gauge pipe in there, and it overshoots the transmount, which last time when I had the 3 inch, it hugged the transmount, and I couldn't get anything in there for the whatchamacallit. Also, the diameter of the pipe was just too big because otherwise you start getting too close to this other stuff. So there you can see that it's got this is DEI titanium. So from there, it comes down under here. And there is a V-band up there. You can see that. So V-bands comes down, there's a flex. On this side, we've got our O2 sensor for our wideband. And it goes right back to the Skunk 2 exhaust. Right here, you can see part of our dump, which is also wrapped down to the elbow there. From here, you might be able to see the dump back there. So it's very cramped in this little corner. It's very hard to get in there. So that's the kit and the caboodle. So for now, we're gonna fire it up and kind of get some first, obviously tone changes with different diameter pipes and stuff like that. I also want to see what it does to the AFRs. So I'm really curious on how that's going to turn out. Yeah, now we gotta worry about it's gotta bake off all the steam from the wrap now, so very cool, very cool. Once Hurricane Helene gets the hell out of here, see if we can take it out and go play. So I'm sitting here looking at my next project, which is this washer bottle. And while I'm sitting here watching, a freaking mouse comes out of that hole and wanders all the way down here and goes somewhere down here. And I think he went under the car because I think he realized he made a poor decision once I fired this thing up. And heaven only knows where he went or what's spewing all over the underneath. That's probably condensation, to be honest. Yeah, so Midwest problems. I got a mouse living in my damn car. He came out of here, so he's in the cabin. Was in the cabin. Yeah, so if you got tips on mouse prevention, like, I've already got one of these things. It don't do much, apparently. So, yeah, if you got tips, let me know. I don't see any droppings in here yet, so it's possible he's in the dash. There's not much in there though.
He just went over here. He just went, there he goes. He just went over there. You No, I'm going back the other way. Oh, you're over there. Over here? There he is. He's under the mower. We got a mouse.
All right, there's my little water bottle, my overflow, and it's obviously not the strongest thing in the world, but it's not going to be doing a whole hell of a lot, but it's there, and it'll do its job. This car is pretty much ready for prime time in terms of stuff. The only thing we could do is hook up the boost controller and get it ready for tuning. We're probably not going to tune it for a while. Tuning ain't cheap. We got a lot to do. I probably got to go to Pittsburgh to do it, because there ain't a lot of people around here that tune Hondas, or that will tune my Honda, because there's a shop in Cleveland that says that they'll do they'll tune Hondas, but for whatever reason, the intercooler, they won't tune your car if you have an eBay intercooler, which doesn't make any sense to me. It's a silly excuse. But regardless, that's gonna end whatever video this is. I wish I showed more about the downpipe. Once the rain kind of goes away and it stays away enough that we can get it out and the ground can firm up a little more, because it's all grass around the barn, we'll take it to one of those, there's a truck stop not far from here that has a scale. I'll drive it over there and we'll weigh the car and see how much it weighs. Now that it is pretty much done. So we'll see what happens in the next couple days. So if this is the end of the video, thanks for watching.